Right. Hey there. Happy week one of Batch December. I am so excited to be sharing with you week one, which is technically December 1st through today, December 7th. So started this on Thursday, December 1st of last week, and I'm going to be updating you guys. We're going to do a couple things today. First thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be chatting about what is Batch December. In case you're new to this, I'll just briefly cover it. Then I'm going to talk about the top 5 things I was able to do in the past 5 days. So certainly not going to get through everything that I did, but wanted to share with you some of the things that you can accomplish when you set aside the kind of time we're talking about in Batch December. I'm going to highlight 2 incredible apps that really have made a big difference in making this time so efficient for me, so things that you might enjoy. Tell you a little bit about what's coming up next week, and then finish off by answering your questions. I've been getting great questions from you guys, and I'm going to answer a few of those toward the end, so stay put. It's going to be really good. So Batch December. What is Batch December? It is a crazy development experiment. I've never done it before. Basically, I have closed Greatest Story for the month, and I'm doing 15 business days or 21 calendar days of solely batch and business development. So I'm working internally. I have one client, and that client is Greatest Story Creative. So spending every day doing all kinds of projects that I think will help us grow. And the idea is to really get our system straight, get our head straight, so that when we hit 2017, we can serve others and especially our clients extremely well, and even better than we did in 2016. So that's the idea. Batch December is about taking the month of December, that first 21 days, taking the rest for vacation, taking these initial time to really work on the business instead of in the business. So told you I'd talk about top 5. So you may remember I was very nervous about when I did this video last week. I had no idea how it was going to turn out, but I am excited to share these top 5 with you. I could probably make a top 20. I'm tracking every single thing I've done, but these are just kind of highlighted stuff we can talk about. So the first thing was I woke up Thursday morning, still not feeling really ready to do batch day, but I decided to go on a walk, and I set my goals for the year just on that walk. I took an hour-long walk, and I thought about what my goals were personally and then what they were professionally, and started documenting. I actually kept the little running thing in my notes app. So that was huge to be able to set those goals and priorities and do that first before I did anything else, so that all my time now can be reshuffled, restructured, and reprioritized to make sure that how I spend this time serves those goals and doesn't just take me off on a wild goose chase, which is very easy to do. I mapped all 17 of our internal business processes, how we deal with someone emailing us and saying they're interested in potentially working together, all the way through how we manage our website development process. So step-by-step flow charts. It brought out the huge nerd in me. I'll share that with you briefly. I cleaned and organized my office. I'm going to share with you shortly how that went. I delegated my first project. Delegation is a big, big goal of mine for next year. I've never had anybody else in this business, and I am going to need a team to better serve clients and to better grow Greatest Story. So I am working on that and employing others to help me do that, including my first virtual assistant. So really excited about that. And then one of the confession time. So Greatest Story has a brand story guide. It has a brand, but that brand has been in my head. So every time I needed something, I'd be creating something. I didn't actually have the tool that we recommend to all our clients, that we create for our clients, called the Brand Story Guide, until now. So I just spent the past 2 days putting together our own version of that, one for our agency that reflects what our goals are, what we try to do for others, explaining in both a written and visual way what we're all about. So we finally have what all our clients have, and have it all organized and can get to it. So these are really big, big, big deal projects that are so hard to find time for, but Batch December has allowed me to do that. You're really looking about 4 full business days and about this morning. So this is a lot. And like I said, this isn't everything. This is just the top stuff. So to share a little bit more with you, if you follow me on Instagram at Greatest Story Creative, you may have seen some of these things. So here on the left, I got 6,000 steps and turned my whole life around by clearing my head and getting outside, taking that walk to kind of kick off Batch December. There's a little bit of a snapshot of the website process you can see over here. Over here are 6 bags of trash. As I went through my poor office, this is probably as bad as it got. Over here on the right, I took everything out and did only put back what I needed. This was an intense project. I did it on a Saturday, 8 hours practically straight. It was exhausting, but it was really worth it. And then I also just shared with you a couple other things we accomplished. So those process maps is a 17-page keynote document that has all our flow charts, as well as our brand story guide. That's the first page of it here. And as you see at the bottom, I am tracking my time. So you guys I can know what I'm doing and you guys can know more about it. So you're looking at 39 hours, 41 minutes, and 12 seconds of accomplishment and time, just time. And that's not including lunches and taking breaks. That's pure working on things. If you're doing the math, then yes, this has been 10-hour days, but it's been incredible. I'm going to share more about that shortly. You may wonder how I'm actually tracking this time. I want to mention these key apps of the week. So the first is Toggl. I found Toggl about 2 or 3 months ago, toggl.com, and it is a great free way to track your time. And I've learned so much by tracking my time. I've learned how to better price what I do so it's reflective of what I want to make per hour, things like that. It's helping me understand where I'm spending my time and what might be better outsourced, since that's a big goal of my business, is to delegate, delegate, delegate. So I can't recommend Toggl enough, and I have tracked every minutia, every detail of what I've been able to accomplish in Batch December. So I will have a final total for you on December 21st of how much time I took away from my business to invest in it with this time investment of Batch December. The other thing I got to say is Keynote. Oh my gosh, if you have a Mac and you're not using Keynote, like Keynote is such an underrated program. It does so many different things. This alone is being done on Keynote, but you saw I did those process maps and I created all the process flow charts from that. I do my client proposals in it. I can't say enough good things about it. It's beautiful. It always looks fabulous. And there's so many things you can do with it. Last week, I was able to record this same kind of video and record my audio on it and export it as a movie. I'm creating a really cool logo animation that you're going to see in 2017 that I created almost entirely in Keynote. There's all kinds of really cool things you can do with it. I'm going to share that in a future story, but just wanted to kind of say these are the MVPs of the week from a app perspective and things I couldn't live without to grow my business. So if you're not using them, check them out. They could be really useful to you. I did mention I would talk about next week. So next week, now I've done a lot of the formative stuff. We needed a guide. We needed our straight to have what our voice guide is and what our brand story guide is, to have all our logos and things ready instead of just me creating them when I need them, kind of thing. So now that we have that in place and we have the strategy in place, next week is going to be much more about, taking it to the next level. We're going to be doing some refresh on our website and cleaning up some of our messaging to better reflect what we do. We're going to be doing things like planning a big event for the first quarter of next year. So you're going to be hearing more about that from me, but really taking the dedicated time to get that marketing well, and also going to be reaching out to folks to try to get some great referral partners for next year, people who do what we do, so we can make sure that we are serving others and knowing a community of people, because it is community over competition. It's serving people well. So lots of big things ahead for next week. Now that we have some of the key pieces in place, I can start to build from that and accomplish even more now that we have the foundation strong. So went through a couple things today. The last thing I want to end on today is your questions. So questions, please feel free to write back on this, leave a comment. If you have a question you're wondering about Batch December, I could talk for a while. There's a lot of things I'm learning, a lot of things I'm experiencing, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. So send in your questions. I'll be happy to answer them in week 2. I do have 2 questions for today. The first question is, are projects taking longer or less time than you expected? And I would say that the projects are basically taking me about the amount of time that I thought that they would, generally speaking. I have had to reshuffle my cards and my organization in terms of what am I doing when to better reflect goals, but not necessarily from a time perspective. That being said, I did go to a meeting on Monday, and I was gone from the office for about 5 hours to go to that meeting. And it was a really great meeting. It was great to see these women that I meet with once a month that are a part of our kind of a mastermind of creatives. But it did kind of blow a hole in my Batch December, and I was up till 11 o'clock at night, and I didn't accomplish everything I wanted to. So there are going to be trade-offs. There are, I think I am good at estimating how much time it's taking me, but I also think that part of that has been using Toggl for 3 to 4 months. So I know about how long and how big these projects are. I also would say using Trello has been great to be able to, if I'm not accomplishing everything, to be able to kind of slide it, move one card to another page. That's Trello.com. to kind of move my goals around, move what I'm trying to accomplish around, and have a plan. So I think the key here is having a plan, and that's what's helping me be successful. So I'd say it's about on par with what I expected. Last question. Is it hard to stay on track? How do you stay focused and not just go out holiday shopping? It's a great question. I totally understand that. I think there's a lot of facets to this. I think for me, I am a creative person, but I also like geek out about things like process mapping and getting organized and learning about new business development tools. I really like internal development, and I have really enjoyed taking a batch day here and there to develop my business. So for me, the process of Batch December has been intimidating, intense, but really addicting. The focus is really addicting. Not having a lot of meetings or really any meetings on my calendar, and being able to wake up every day and do whatever it is I feel like I really need to do to set myself up and the business up for success is a really addicting feeling. And I can already feel myself being protective of that time and going, how am I going to get back to working with clients? And how am I going to get back in the office and feel refreshed and not just want to do development projects all day? But I think it's going to be a balance. So for me, and the kind of personality that I have, I find it very addicting to stay on track. If you don't find it addicting or you're curious about trying this, I think for me, the key is it's not just about setting aside time, but kind of as I said throughout this update, have your goals and priorities in place. Start there, take your batch afternoon, your day, and start from what do you want to accomplish and make a plan so that you're not just spending your time willy-nilly. I wake up every day and I know what it is that I want to get done. And if I didn't have that, it'd be way easier to be distracted, take off, go shopping at Target. Doesn't mean I haven't gone shopping. I went to Michael's and got a $6 wreath. So I am super excited about that, but I did that on Sunday. So it's made me all this has made me more productive even with my personal time. But that's what I would say is start with your goals first. Be really intentional about the time you set aside so you can make the most of it. And I think, once you start to see the fruits, and I think for me, once I, having done this a lot, the first couple of times you do it, you see so much momentum because you are so focused and you're not being pulled at, you're not checking your email a million times or Facebook a million times. You are really getting stuff done like you can't during other periods where you're being pulled at or you're having to address other things. So this is the thing. It's a gift to give yourself for the holiday season. So with that, I will just say, this is how you follow along. That's the week 2 update. I would really encourage you guys, if you have a question, definitely send it my way. I'd be happy to address it, hopefully in a future video, hopefully next week. If you stay tuned on the newsletter videos because I'm going to be posting them, one next week and one the following week, which will be, believe it or not, the last week, I believe, in Batch December before I go on vacation. I'm also going to be putting up Insta story updates. So you saw some of the pictures were actually things I was putting up in real time on Instagram. So if you want to know a little bit more about what I'm doing and laugh at some of the dumb things I post, to play this really real, because not every day is beautiful. Not everything we're accomplishing is perfect or easy by any means. So if you want those up-to-date things, go to @GreatestStoryCreative. Thank y'all so much for watching this. I hope this has encouraged you to either take 5 minutes, clear your head, thank yourself for the year, look ahead to next year, and put some plans in place that are going to really transform your 2017, because you got this, you can do this. Stay awesome.